Hello Aquarius, welcome back to my channel, or if this is your first time, hello and welcome. Today I'm going to mix things up a little bit and do a love connection reading. This will be for May 16th until May 22nd, 2021, and will be for your sun, moon, or rising signs in Aquarius should you cross watch. This is also a general love connection reading, so it might not resonate for you or your situation, and that is absolutely okay. Take the things that are for you today and leave everything else behind to get into your higher vibes. When we think about love connection readings, we often think exclusively about romantic love, but bear in mind that the love we carry for other people can be more complicated than that. There's lots of interpersonal love. So these readings and situations may touch you romantically, but they may also resonate for you on a level of intimate friendship or familial love, personal love, anything like that. So keep an open mind as we go through. This is about connection between two human beings. If you have yet to do so, please do subscribe to the channel as well. And if today's reading resonates for you, please leave me a thumbs up and any comments or questions you might have down below. Are we ready? Okay. Interesting little spread here for you, Aquarius. The overall energy in this connection is the High Priestess. This to me really strongly indicates that I think you already are pretty aware of what the connection is going to be like, or what the outcome in this connection is going to be like, or both of you kind of on a unspoken level understand what's going to happen between the two of you, but I don't know that it's being spoken about just yet. So keep that in mind as we go through the reading. For them in this connection, we have the Seven of Wands, the Strength card, and the Eight of Swords. So possibly dealing with a Leo or someone with Leo in their chart. But more for me here, Aquarius, we are dealing with somebody who has been doing a lot of work to just take care of themselves the last little while. I would say they've probably gone through quite a spell of being single and are working just to kind of heal and honor themselves and protect their energy and really kind of rebuild. I get that this person, when they are in maybe romantic partnerships or in partnerships in general where they are expected to behave in a certain way with another person, that makes them feel very stuck and trapped and confined in ways that are uncomfortable for them. Now that's likely stemming from a trauma response that they are working to heal through, but they have a difficult time when they know somebody is emotionally relying on them. It makes them feel just unable to function a little bit, makes them feel trapped in the connection, even if it's a connection that they enjoy. It's that being tied down that's a little bit complicated for them. Perhaps they are somebody who, recently went through a big breakup from a long-term relationship, and part of this is still tied to that healing sort of energy. And again, if this is not a romantic connection for you, it may just be someone who has trouble and difficulty, having trouble speaking today, connecting meaningfully within your friendship, within your relationship, in whatever capacity the relationship looks like, because they just don't want to be tied down by anybody. For you in this connection, really interesting grouping of cards. We have the Devil, the Star, which is your card in the deck, Aquarius, and the Temperance card. So some Capricornic energy, a little bit of Sagittarian energy here. But for me, Aquarius, this really feels like you have a patience problem when it comes to connections. When you set your sight on somebody, you want them to be yours. You want them to exchange and give back that affection, give back that desire that you're putting out there. And I think this is a little bit of a toxic trait for you. It's like you set your sights on somebody, and if it doesn't work out and doesn't work out quickly, or they don't respond in the way that you want them to in the timeline that you want them to, that it becomes very problematic. traumatic for you. You may find yourself abandoning in a relationship or a getting to know period because things aren't aligning with a timeline that you have created that maybe you're not even communicating to this person. So if we're talking about the relationship between the two of you, before I even go into the connection energy here, we're looking at someone who is working to protect and heal themselves and who has a difficult time with the notion of being tied down to another person. And your energy here is showing, okay, I'm setting my sights on you and I want you to be mine and I want you to be mine now. Do you see how those energies may have difficulty being compatible? Especially if there is like some Leo energy here, if this person you're dealing with is a Leo. I see you, Aquarius and Leo, having a difficult time in matchup, just in general. You're both kind of like leaders and have that vibrato sort of sense. Like Aquarius, you're just this innovating person. You're somebody who, you know, people are drawn to inherently. There's something about that star power energy that comes with the Aquarian light. And Leo obviously carries themselves in that star kind of quality as well. So it can be difficult. A little bit of an ego clash could happen between those two signs. Now, obviously, our charts are very complicated. I would be more curious to know what your Venus signs are and how compatible they might be, and also your Mars signs for if we're butting heads about anything, and passion. Anyway, that's a bit of a tangent wormhole, but just consider what these two types of personalities, as described, may have as challenges between them. Now, let's look at the connection here. We have the Ten of Wands, the Two of Swords, and the Page of Swords. I think both of you are kind of reaching a point of wanting to pack it up. Move on from this. Like, I think it's going to be, again, pretty obvious to you without needing to even have conversation about it, that this just like isn't the right fit. It's almost maybe as if both of you are trying to make it seem like you're interested or make it seem like the match is a good one, even though you both kind of know that it isn't. But I don't think it's being spoken about between the two of you just yet. There's a bit of pride that we're not yet through. With the Two of Swords here, we always talk about a decision to make. I do think this decision is going to be, you know, do I stay or do I go on it? But ultimately, the bigger part of this decision is who is going to start the conversation, who is going to open this up. I get that there is going to be some stubborn energy from both of you. I mean, Aquarius, you are the fixed air sign. So air signs are very strong in communicating, but you could be a little bit stubborn. So you may not want to be the one to open the conversation up, to admit that maybe it's not working out. So something to think about there as well. We got a lot from these 10 cards. We'll do a little bit of clarifying, see what else we can learn for you here, Aquarius. I'll start with this High Priestess. Five of Materials, the Two of Voices coming up again, and the Four of Materials. Yeah, I think you're both seeing this is just like not the right fit. This isn't the person. It's a relationship that's holding you back from the relationship that you're actually aspiring to find, or better yet, the connection that you're aspiring to find. It just doesn't feel right. And I think this decision about like, are we going to talk about it? Are we going to action on it? Is something that you're both waiting for the other person to initiate. Neither one of you wants to be the one to talk about it, to say, maybe this isn't working, or saying, I don't feel this is working for me and my needs. You're both stubbornly clinging on to your pride here. Neither of you wants to be the one to roll over first on this. So, you know, there is no shame in saying that something is not working for you, because opening that dialogue can also create space for the two of you to make repair, create more connection, or simply just walk away and stop investing energy into something where you're both not very happy with what's going on in the connection. Let's take a look for them here at this Eight of Swords. Ooh, okay, yeah, we'll take you. Queen of Materials, the Tower, and the Ten of Emotions. Yeah, this connection may have come as a surprise to this person. I think that maybe when you first met, they weren't expecting that it was going to be anything. Like, you may not have met under kind of the context of a date, and so you weren't thinking about it in terms of romance, maybe when you first met. This person is very focused on their career right now. I think they're in a position where they're kind of working their way up the ranks, and they're really focusing on what that is going to look like long term for them, as far as really solidifying their career and giving their energy into that right now. It's almost as if like starting to have a bit of a connection with this person is having them really think about, okay, what is my long-term happiness going to look like? Is a relationship something I really want to have with me in the future? Do I care a lot about having a traditional relationship, having marriage, having children? Is that going to bring me the fulfillment I think it will? Or is my fulfillment going to come from continuing to climb the ranks in my workplace? Because they definitely have a devotion to their job right now. And I think, again, they don't want to introduce a relationship that may put them in a position where their decisions have to be based on what that other person wants and needs. And again, feel like they are trapped in that and unable to direct their own life and livelihood. Let's take a look for you here, Aquarius, at the Star. We'll clarify your card in particular. The Death card, wow, it's been like only major arcana for you so far. Ace of Materials and the 10 of Materials coming up here. Yeah, you want a fresh new start and you want a solid offering here, Aquarius. Maybe you are somebody who has gone through a series of kind of dating periods with people that maybe they misled you, made you think that they were looking for something long term and they weren't really, or you feel like you invest a lot of your time and of yourself into other people and you don't get that back from them. And here you are, what you're looking for is for that cycle to end so that you can get a solid offering from somebody, have a solid exchange with somebody that can lead to long-term happiness, long-term fulfillment, family, marriage, all of that stuff. There's definitely energy of wanting that traditional sort of love, but it's almost as if you're reaching a point where you're tired of waiting for it, you're tired of looking for it, you're tired of seeking it out. You just want it to happen now. You're like, I'm ready now. I want to have a family. I want to have a spouse. I want to have whatever that looks like for me. And I'm done with going through these cycles and cycles and cycles of kissing all the frogs to get to the prince, princess, or whatever the non-gender conforming version of a royal might be. Okay, you're like waiting for that person, that moment, and you're just like tired of seeking it out. You want it to come to you now, and you want it to be real and authentic from the start. Again, we're talking about having a little bit of a lack of patience here, Aquarius, and that could be stemming from a lot of things. Let us look in the future energy at the Page of Swords, see if we can gain any information or insight on who might open up this conversation or what might cause it to open up. Six of Inspiration, the Hierophant, and the Devil. I think we're going to reach a boiling point here. I think we're going to reach a boiling point here where it's like everybody's being so stubborn. There's obviously not going to be a winner in this situation, you know, because we're both feeling like losers right now. And we're just reaching this point where it's like everybody's being stubborn. Everybody is politely waiting for the other person. And it's like things are being drawn out much longer than they need to, because the real issue here is that you don't want the same things. You're not on the same page and you don't want to talk about it. Neither of you wants to admit that. And that's going to just become a bigger and bigger and more glaring problem that you're going to know. You're aware of it. You're both aware of it. Just neither of you want to talk about it. We'll take one last message here from Spirit for you. The Wheel, the Ten of Pentacles again, and the Page of Pentacles. This feels like advice particularly for you here, Aquarius, which I mean, this is your reading, so Spirit's on your side. If you want to get started on a new cycle, if you really want something that's going to lead to a lasting, enduring, long-term love, you need to allow yourself to slow down and take it one step at a time, one date at a time, one conversation at a time. Take the time to get to know this person, to understand them, to see where you overlap and relate. I think that we fall prey to thinking there needs to be kind of magic and spark right from the very beginning when we meet people, but it doesn't always work out that way. There is an element of needing to allow people to, reveal themselves to you, especially when we're getting to know somebody, or if you're meeting over the internet in some way initially. It's like people can be shy and self-conscious when they first meet. So give somebody a chance. If what you really want is a long-term commitment, moving towards marriage, moving towards family, you need to go slow and steady and remind yourself that it is okay to go slow and steady, because you will end up with a more authentic relationship, a more authentic connection to another person. And like, there's no need to rush. If you're going to be with them for the rest of your life, potentially, then there's no need to be married tomorrow or engaged tomorrow or decided in that factor just yet. It takes a little bit of time sometimes. So keep that in mind. I hope this was helpful to you, Aquarius. If it was, again, please subscribe and leave a thumbs up. We'll see you all next week.